Hello, hello. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm really excited to share this with you. So let me give you a little bit of a background on what this video is for. I really believe in the power of journaling, and I believe in the power of journaling to an extent that it can help change every aspect of your life that you're willing to focus on and write down. Um, there are a few books out there that have really helped me to understand this practice. And actually, the first thing that it started with, and I have to give full credit to this person, his name is Benjamin Hardy, and he taught me this process of journaling. I've changed some things over time. I've added some things, I've taken away some things, but essentially, the basics, the foundation for journaling is something that I learned from him, and I will be forever thankful for that. He's an organizational psychologist and a brilliant man, young and just so self-motivated, and can visualize and write down anything that he wants to see happen in his life, and it does. And I really believe this started with the power of journaling. So this is something that has become a ritual in my life for over a year, and something that I want to share with you now. So I'm going to share with you the essentials and things that I think will be most beneficial for you, and things that have helped me. So I'm going to share my screen. Whoop, share my screen. Oh, that's not the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I call this the journaling genius because I really believe that there's a genius inside of all of us. Inside of you, you have these God-given abilities, these gifts that I like to call the extraordinary genius. A lot of people, some people call them your unique ability, which is also a beautiful term for it. But essentially inside of you is this genius who is waiting to come out. But it's really hard for that genius to come out if you try and keep it all in your head. So this journaling process has really helped me to both find my focus and to express my ideas and thoughts to give room for more. And that's what we want, right? We want to receive more, and we're even taught through scriptures and through study after study, and even the greatest thought leaders and business leaders of our generation have all talked about how getting thoughts out of your head makes room for more creativity, and that really is something that everybody has, and something that you can develop if you don't feel like you have and you want that. It's something that I want because heaven knows, with our kids, with coworkers, in business, and everything, every experience and situation like that, I need a unique solution to my problem, or a unique answer to help somebody else, help someone find a solution, help someone find that thing, that little extra that they're looking for, that little extra that you're looking for. So this is going to help you do that. I recommend that you write every morning and every evening. Okay, I know it sounds like a lot, and you may not feel like you have time for it, but I promise if you make time, just 5-10 minutes every evening before you go to bed, and then every morning right as you wake up, you will feel more proactive and more in control of how your day will go. Okay, so we really want to focus on controlling what you can control. And the person you can control is you. So by being proactive in preparing your day, rather than responding to the needs and the whims and the requests and demands of everybody around you, you have a focus and you have your values in place, and so you know what's going to happen when a certain situation comes up, and then you'll also be able to better control those emotions, which will also better control your eating habits, because they are basically just reactions to the emotion you're feeling and you don't know how to respond. So when you're prepared those responses can be stronger than the choices, the weaker choices you may find yourself faced with. Okay, so morning journaling I like to call Find Your Focus. And so we're just going to go through this PDF just a little bit, and you'll also have a copy of this so that you can use these helpful hints along the way as you start your own journaling. A person who is laser focused is a powerhouse. This is something I'm still working on, okay? This takes incredible practice, incredible consistency to be able to focus your mind on the goals and the values and the desires that you have for things that you want to accomplish that day. And I don't mean accomplishing emptying the dishwasher or vacuuming your floor. Now, those things are important, but I'm here to tell you right now, you are made for bigger and better things. If your job, however, is to clean someone's house, is to scrub floors or wash windows or make beds, if that's your job, then that is what you should be focused on. If that's not your job, and the next module we're going to talk about, if it is not something that requires your personality, then we delegate. So that's the next module. Look for that video coming up. But a person who's laser focused on what they want is a powerhouse. Your day has already been planned the night before. So I know I have morning journaling here at the top, but actually I want to start with the evening journaling. Okay, so the first thing that I start with, and the thing that you can start with today, is practicing gratitude. We all have heard that practicing gratitude brings greater happiness in our lives, but when we actually write it down, when we can actually think of specific experiences and instances in our day rather than saying generally I'm happy or I'm thankful for my family. Instead, when we can say I am thankful that I had time to go out and play with my son outside in the yard while it was warm today. Those are specific experiences that will become long-term memories for you and help you to see the value in everything that you do during the day. So each night before you go to bed, I want you to write down the 3 things you're thankful for, whether it's things that happened today, something that someone did for you, something that you learned about yourself, something that you got to experience today. All of these things are really important. So here are some helpful hints for you. You can say, I am thankful for blank because blank. Just give us a who, what, and why. A who or a what, and then a why. And then my wins for the day include something that went well today, something that you accomplished that maybe you didn't expect to accomplish, or something that you were hoping to do that actually happened. These focuses on these wins build your confidence. Confidence is not a characteristic. It's not even a practice. It's a byproduct of something that when we see that we accomplish little tiny things in our day, and then those things add up, we have more confidence the next day that this thing that we're planning is going to happen. And we actually work harder towards making that happen. So our confidence grows. So I want you to really focus on what your wins for the day were, what you are, and have them align. Really try and think of, do these align with my values and my goals? If they don't, maybe we need to take a look at the things that you're doing during the day and making sure that some of the things that you're doing during the day are moving you towards those goals and the values that you have. Okay, so then you can say, obviously, also something I learned about myself today is blank. I want to, or I don't want to practice this, right? I don't want to become this way, or I do want to become this way. This is what I'm going to do in order to become that way. And then, so we reflect and we resolve. And that statement right there is a little bit of the reflecting and resolving. But this this form of self-love where we say, yeah, I did that, but I'm going to resolve tomorrow to do it this way because I believe that this way will make it even better, or I'm not going to ever do that again. And we resolve to do better. This is a needle mover for me in my life. And I am so, so thankful that I came across this practice. Because what you think about yourself and ultimately becomes the kind of person that you are, right? If you focus on the positive, you'll become a more positive person. If you focus on making your practices positive and changing the negative ones, and not just changing them, but replacing them, then you become that person that you are working towards. So we want them to align with your goals. Write down what you resolve to do, or what happened during the day, right? These positive and negative things, because we can learn from the negative, and then what we resolve to do the next day in order to change our course or keep on that course. So here are some helpful hints for that. Something I noticed about my day that made it better or worse was, and then write that down. I felt blank, because those emotions, you experience them, and acknowledging them and assessing them will help you to learn what kind of steps you can take towards either ensuring that you feel that same way the next time, or changing how you felt. So you can say, I felt blank about or when blank happened because, and then give a reason why you think you felt that way. And then give your resolve. I will do or say or try this in order to achieve this, right? The next time it happens. So that is what I do in my evening journaling. My evening journaling actually takes up more time than my morning journaling, because it's what happened. It's my life experience, what happened during the day, and that's important to me to keep a record of that. So then taking what I have planned to do, oh yes, before we go to morning journaling, then I set my intent for the day, because your intentional actions help you to focus on your priorities. And so that is the most important part of my journaling at night, in my opinion, because it helps set the tone for the next day. So you can read through this paragraph, but the helpful hints are: my 3 priorities for my day tomorrow are, and then list those priorities. After listing those priorities, I want you to put a number next to them in order of importance. My number 1 priority is blank because, and then say why. And then I want you to specifically say when you're going to do this. If you list this on your calendar, in your phone, in your planner, or in your journal, write this down, because we say, yes, of course, I'm going to remember to do this after this. But if it's not written down, and if we're not constantly reminded of these things that we want to do during our day, it's so easy to forget them. I know that if I don't have a reminder on my phone, for example, even going to pick up my kids from school is difficult for me to remember unless it's become a habit. So unless this practice is something that you do every day and you're sure that you will remember how to do it, I strongly suggest you write this down. My number 2 priority is blank because of blank. I will do this. Now, this is the thing I wanted to point out with this is I have this sentence in here: I will do this after I blank. So you have a specific time during your day that you're going to do it, and before I blank. So you have both the before activity and the after activity. That before activity is your trigger. This is so important because we cannot change our habits alone by simply focusing on the habit. We change the habit by focusing on the trigger. And in order to accomplish this priority that you have set for your day, you have to set up a trigger in order to get that done. So often I relate my triggers, I relate my priorities to my triggers. And this helps them to become habits. Now, for example, this is not a priority, but it is something that helps me. I'll just share this with you. So I had a hard time keeping my bedroom clean. I had a hard time keeping my bed made. So I decided that my trigger would be every time I come home from exercising, or every time I come upstairs to my room to shower and get ready for the day, I will make my bed. Now, I haven't been consistent, and so this has been, it is still something that I'm working on. But I know that when I come upstairs and shower and get ready, when I lay my clothes out on my bed, I can automatically make my bed. So this is something that relates to the habit that I want to develop. The more you relate that habit to that thing, the more natural the habit becomes. But I want you to set up something both before and after that priority you want to do, so you know exactly when you're going to do it. Okay, that's my favorite part of this journaling process. It's just mine. You may find another part that's your favorite, but I really love focusing on developing these positive, healthy habits that help me to accomplish things more easily than just focusing on one thing at a time. It helps me create this natural flow in my day so I don't have to think about it as much. And that really is something that we focus on, right? The 80-20, working 20% to get 80% of the results rather than working 80% to get 20% of the results. Okay, so on to the morning journaling. I want you to find your focus. Then first thing in the morning, before your kids get up, or before you head off to work, just write down FYF, or find your focus. I want you to write down, today I will blank, and you have your priorities already, so you know what you're going to do. And you may also have an additional schedule or calendar out. So you say, I'm going to do these things, and about each thing, about each experience or each priority you have, I want you to write down how you think it's going to go. How you are going to experience this thing, because that really helps you to prepare to be the kind of person you want to be during that experience. You say, it's going to be, today I will go to the gym. Today I will go volunteer at my kids' school. And it will be so much fun because I love being with my son in the classroom, or I love serving the other kids who may not have that personal attention in the classroom. And then you can think of the type of person that you're going to be during that situation. And thinking about how you're going to be sets you up for that mind shift, that ability to control your emotions and control the situation around you. Think of the impact, the influence you get to have when you set it up the way you want it to be, not the way that somebody else decides it's going to be. Okay? I just think that's so awesome. I love it, and I hope that you find that this is just as powerful for you as I have for me. So then I want you to list your goals. You have your priorities, so then your goals are to accomplish your priorities, and then tell yourself what other things are important to you, because if those things come up and you have to adapt, then we're not as reactive to the stress that we feel when life happens, when things change. I know personally, as I have set goals and then my children have gotten sick and I've had to take them to the doctor, and that just wasn't in my schedule for the day, that I can either be really frustrated and really reactive to the whole situation, or I can be adaptive and say, you know what? I planned for these things to happen and my goals are for these things to happen, but my goals and my values are aligned as such that if my children need my care, that's my very first priority. And so I can adapt to that situation and make sure that I respond in the way that I want to respond, and be the kind of person that I want to be. So then you can write down the kind of person I want to be when and then write down what you're going to do that day is, and then write down how you want to be, because you're a different person when you go to work. You're different when you lead your company, when you lead your team. You're different when you come home and serve your family. You're different when you stay home and serve your family or go and volunteer somewhere else. There's so many situations we find ourselves in, and we actually find that we are different in every situation. And so how do you want to be in this situation? This journaling right here helps you to find your focus in the kind of person you want to be in that situation that you will find yourself in, or the situation that you create for yourself. Either way, you will have control. And to be able to find your focus during the day and then visualize how that's going to happen makes your day an unforgettable experience, right? It makes it something not only that you can control, but something that becomes something you want to do. It becomes an enjoyable experience. It becomes who you are. And when you focus on who you want to be and how you can be that person, then you can be anyone that you want to be. You can be the type of person you want to be. You can be the mother you want to be. You can be the businesswoman you want to be. And you can find that balance in between when you are at your child's school or at work, and then when you come home and you are a different person. And not a different person, but the qualities and characteristics that you want to focus on using when you are in those situations will help you to enjoy them more and feel more fulfillment in every experience. So I hope this has helped you. I hope you enjoy this. I can't wait to see what you share in our Facebook group about your morning journaling and how it's going for you. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.